My name is Temple Onaneku, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer here at Wolf Consulting LLC. Our team has worked vigorously in creating the following recommendations for the University of West Georgia Student Government Association. Ever notice some things on campus that you feel might need some attention? Ever have some concerns with some environmental issues on campus and just felt like you needed some amplification into your voice? Or maybe you just had a general concern and just didn't know where to go. Well, SGA, Student Government Association, that's their mission. Their mission is to give the students a voice so that we can be heard and we can be heard loud. During this presentation, you will be introduced to a highly trained team of professionals who will provide background information on our company, aspects where SGA can be improved. We will then go on to touch on their current external and internal communications and how they can be improved as well, following with our recommendations and how they can enhance SGA's student involvement, departmental image, and brand awareness. At the end of this presentation, you will have better knowledge and understanding of how to effectively interact with the students at West Georgia University in order to increase the level of student involvement. You'll also be supplied with a guide with steps that will enhance the brand awareness and departmental image of the Student Government Association. Also, this will enhance the relevance and popularity of the Student Government Association and their mission of ensuring that the student voice is heard. Now, without further ado, I'll be turning your attention to Vincent Robinson as he will talk about our company background and purpose. We hope you enjoy the following recommendation proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Temple. And now I would like to talk to you all about our company background. Wolf Consulting started as a group of friends, all attending the same school but working within separate fields at different companies. And we all realized we had the same problem. Our companies did not understand how to reach out to other clients or customers internally and externally within the company. So we decided to meet up at our local university library, Ingram Library. And when we started talking, we realized each of us within our own separate fields have what it takes to uh, present what we feel all of our companies were lacking. And that is how Wolf Consulting began. Our main focus here at Wolf Consulting is to help your company reach larger audiences than ever previously recorded, meaning audiences and demographics that you probably have never thought to reach out to or thought that would be interested in your company. That is what we assist in. Also, helping your company better communicate internally and externally within the company and reaching out with other companies with whether it's business ventures, partnerships, or so be it, as well as getting your getting your product or your company into the public eye without spamming. There are numerous ways that you can get your company seen without always plastering your name on a focus board or a billboard or just numerous of other ways where your company will be seen. Now I'm going to talk to you about the how. The how is how we plan on getting your company seen on a larger scale to a broader audience through the public eye. We use a variety of platforms such as social media, billboard ads, passing out flyers, giveaways. We highly encourage raffles and as I said, raffle prizes, giveaways, etc. to create that bond with your customers. Because once you have that bond with your clients, they are more likely to stick with your clients, to stick with your company, and pass it on to a family or friend. With that being said, now I will move on to the next topic. As for our work history, we've worked with a few well-known companies that you all might have heard of before, such as Reebok, Hanes, and Forever 21. We've helped them each in their own separate platforms on where we think they needed help the most. As for Reebok, we raised their monthly sales by 10% with our promotion team. For Hanes, we increased their overseas sales. They were primarily sold in North America, specifically the Southeast region, and our team met with their team on communications, and we decided that there was a larger market overseas, and their sales have grown exponentially afterwards. And Forever 21, we increased their men's department sales by 22% by showing them that there's a larger target audience than what they previously only thought they had before. So now that you know a little bit about us, I'll pass it over to Megan Johnson for our statement of need. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Xavier. Our team at Wolf Consulting has analyzed your organization, and we have identified a few issues that are preventing SGA from growing to its full potential. These three key elements, which we know will promote the effectiveness of SGA's mission, include brand awareness, student involvement, and promotional tactics. By allowing us to work with you to help you utilize our strategies to improve these three elements, we know that we can help you on your mission to give students a voice at the University of West Georgia. I will now talk to you about how brand awareness can be improved through different strategies that we have tried and tested and know to be true. When dealing with your particular target audience, social media has been proven to be the most effective tool to strengthen brand awareness. Studies show a better bond is created between an organization and its clients when social media is utilized effectively. A drastic increase in brand awareness is seen when social media is used consistently. With our team of experts in online marketing, we will be able to effectively build your brand from the presence that you have already created. Since you already have established a foundation, we will be able to build on top of that to create the most effective brand that we can. Your brand image is the most important factor in determining how many new clients that you will attract and how many students will become involved in your organization. And with our help, we will have a positive impact on your brand awareness and help you to improve your online presence. In a recent survey of 200 University of West Georgia students who were asked what would it take for you to get involved with SGA, resulted in a 93% response that SGA needs more topics and events that would make showing up worthwhile. With this information, we know exactly what needs to be done in order to attract more students and therefore skyrocketing student involvement. What we will do is further investigate what students actually want and need to hear at your events. And then we will use those topics and implement them in your events. For example, we know that students are very passionate about the parking situation at West Georgia. If we express to them how important it is for us to hear their thoughts and ideas at these events, then they would be more likely to show up and participate in these events. As I have previously explained, brand awareness and student involvement are key elements that will determine the success and influence of an organization. But in order to have the most impact from these two that you are hoping for, you must also implement promotional tactics, which just so happens to be our specialty at Wolf Consulting. We have discovered unconventional ways to promote a brand that are more effective than traditional tactics. In fact, 80% of our clients have seen remarkable growth in their company just from the use of our promotional tactics alone. And I know that we can do the same for your organization. by allowing us to help you implement our promotional tactics that will improve brand awareness and increase student involvement. I know that together we can help student government to grow and become as effective as it was intended to be at the University of West Georgia. After analyzing your organization and identifying a few key problem areas, I have no doubt that my team and I at Wolf Consulting have the right solutions that SGA needs in order to grow and perform at its highest potential. I will now turn it over to my teammate, Stephen Walker, who will further explain the details of internal communications.
Thank you, Megan, for that introduction. And hello, I'm here to talk about our internal communication. Now, what I'd like to start off with our internal communication is just listing the forms of communication that SGA already uses and is already good at using. These three forms would be GroupMe, email, and face-to-face meetings. Now, GroupMe is an instant messenger. It's a mobile app that you can download on your phone to where you can get everybody's numbers that is in the organization, and you're able to instantly message them about problems that you may have or questions, and they'll receive a notification and be able to immediately respond to this. This is very effective. This is used widely on many group activities and settings, and is a very key and essential part of building a strong internal communication. Next, we have email. Email is a slower form of communication, but it is still a very important and formal form of communication. This is where you can send important documents to each other or private information that doesn't need the eyes of everybody in the group. Lastly, we have the face-to-face meeting. SGA holds Senate meetings once a week. This is where they go over performances and duties from the past week. This is a very important form of communication. This is where you have group members are able to voice their opinions to the group and get a reaction from each and every person in the group that you wouldn't get from GroupMe or even from an email. This is where you can see where everybody stands on certain topics and ideas. So next, I'd like to talk about comparative analysis. Comparative analysis is one of the most common and effective tools that we use in our consulting firm to show our client how other departments work. We use this to analyze effective and new methods of internal communication for our client to see what methods would be able to work best for them. We carefully research and discuss what methods to use, because not all methods will work for the same group just because another group is benefiting heavily off of the use of this method does not mean that it will transfer over quite the same to another organization. Now, what I have done is I have chosen SEI, Center for Student Involvement. The reason I chose this is because they are closely related to an organization like SGA, where they both promote student involvement and want to see students to get more involved on campus. And what I found that SGA does very well is communicate effectively and accurately through emails. Now, they do this regularly, and the reason I found that SGA can improve on this is because this would also promote the use of email externally. Now, SGA does not use this as much because of their use of GroupMe, which is an easier and lighter form of communication, but always practicing good email etiquette is very essential for your organization. Lastly, I'd just like to make my final recommendations for SGA's internal communication performance. Overall, I think SGA is doing an amazing job. They seem to be very tight internally. I've seen through their communication with each other that they seem to be very friendly, very open, with each other, and I could just test this through their weekly Senate meetings. I think is very important. I think it's very effective, and just getting those jitters out and just having everybody be able to share their ideas and their beliefs just openly with each other. And so the only thing that I believe that they should improve on would be more extensive use of email, just to have that, just to have a stronger background in that. But overall, I think they're doing an amazing job. And next, I'd like to pass it over to Amy for their external communication.
Now we will review the current external communication forms that the Student Government Association uses. Email is a method of communication used both internally and externally. For external purposes, it's a great way for students to reach out to the organization with questions or concerns at all hours. Email is a great form of communication because most students are actively checking their email for updates involving other campus-related items. Writing is another form of communication, sometimes used by the SGA. It's an affordable way to advertise events on campus. SGA has very few posters around campus, so most students are still unaware of your organization's existence or its purpose. Although we are a society who is dependent upon technology, print advertising is still a valuable method when strategically placed. Another lesser used source of external communication students may utilize is the department phone, where a representative is there to answer frequently asked questions. It's also used to reach outside sources and communicate with other departments. We have analyzed your organization and have included a visual on this slide to help with the understanding of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats regarding your organization. Your strengths include the internal communication, which has developed a sense of community as well as cohesive culture within the organization. Your weaknesses involve the external communication, causing the lack of awareness. This weakness leads to great opportunity. With the lack of external communication, there's opportunity for growth and high potential for new members. There is opportunity in increasing student involvement if some improvements in the method of advertising events and promoting meeting attendance are implemented. Lastly, the threats include the university's advisors, as well as competing organizations, such as Black Student Alliance, Young Democrats, and Young Republicans. The representative of the SGA we interviewed stated they have had issues with advisors hindering certain ideas or causing other interruptions that have disproved their events. The SGA should communicate with the university's advisors on the importance of student involvement and how to create events and generate ideas that advisors will approve. SGA should inform students of the differences between SGA and these competing organizations and how the Student Government Association's primary function influences the decisions made that affect students directly.
My name is Robert McGuire, and I'm here to provide some specific recommendations that your organization can use to increase its impact on campus. Wolf Consulting recommends that your organization focuses on 3 major areas of impact to improve your department's image. These areas include department image, or how the student body will perceive your organization, student involvement, primarily focusing on participation and engagement, and external communication, or how effectively your organization gets its information to the target audience. For your department's image, Wolf Consulting recommends that your organization chooses more exciting and engaging on-campus activities, as well as an increased charitable presence within the community. On-campus activities have 2 major components: location, the where, and content, the what. To improve the image of the Student Government Association, both of these components need to be addressed. Choosing a location that has a high traffic rate is important to the attendance, yet it can only do so much. The content of these activities must be exciting and accessible to encourage students to stop and learn what your organization does and how it'll impact their everyday life. A specific example of one of these events could be a puppy play area where students could play with puppies during finals week. This would help students engage with SGA members putting on the function, but would also help improve the department's image as an organization that cares about the well-being of the student body. Another way to improve your department's organization image is to increase its charitable presence within the community. This will not only help the student body, but the community as a whole view your department in a positive way. The second area that we propose your organization focuses its efforts to improve the department image is through student involvement. Your organization relies heavily on student participation. Wolf Consulting recommends that we use on-campus living and the freshman class to establish small, independent, dorm-style governments and the introduction of more frequent town hall-style meetings to improve participation and involvement from the student body. Using the RAs as representatives, your organization will empower students to impact their daily life while seeing the importance of your organization. Students could propose rule changes to their dorms or propose legislature to affect their daily life using the RAs as representatives. This will effectively give students a sense of empowerment over how they live and their campus activities. Another way to increase the involvement of the student body is to provide content-based incentives to meeting participants. An example of this would be parking passes to the students that attend the meeting on parking, or dining dollars to the students that attend the meeting on the budget. This would help distinguish students that are there because they choose to be there and want to actually see how it impacts their life, versus the students that are there purely for incentives. By impacting the involvement of the students, this will help the overall longevity and success of your organization. The area of impact that we recommend your organization focuses on is external communication, or how well your organization gets its information to the target audience. We've conducted some research on your organization's social media presence, and here's what we found. The University of West Georgia currently has 10,753 students. Your organization's social media page has 649 Instagram followers, with fewer Facebook followers and even fewer Twitter followers. This equates to 6% of the student body, and only 6% of the student body being active online with your organization is not an effective use of this media channel. Improving your social media presence is imperative to the success of your organization due to the fact that 90% of students say that their primary source of information is social media. By not effectively using this channel, your organization is missing out on potential participants. We recommend that your organization appoints a specific person to be in charge of online posts and social media relevance issues. The primary focus being content and quality of posts, as well as increased marketing campaign to aggressively attract followers. Additionally, an increase in the frequency of town hall style meetings will give students a sense of inclusion and involvement with your student government association. By having an open forum, students can easily voice their concerns and complaints, as well as have real-time answers and active feedback from members. By simplifying the communication channel and making it easier for students to give their opinions and to receive the answers, will effectively increase the communication of your organization. In our recommendations, your organization will see an improvement in the department image and the overall involvement from the student bodies on campus. Now I'll let Temple wrap things up through a conclusion.
As a token of our gratitude, we'll be leaving everybody in the audience with a wolf toy. Now, not only does this wolf toy contain our contact information, but it's a reminder that the best leaders in life don't lead from the front, they lead from the back. Now, at this time, we'll be happy to answer any questions from the audience.
Question: why do you think working with your consulting company will be a smart choice? Well, I know working with our consulting company will be a smart choice because we put you first. We have a strict open door policy, so whatever questions or concerns you may have, please feel free to come towards us and we'll happily answer. And we work with you, not for you. So anything we do, we move forward as a team, and we won't move forward unless you're comfortable with it. And we keep a strong communication, so there should be no mishaps on not understanding one another.
So why should you trust our recommendations to help improve your organization now and in the future? That's a great question. And my answer is that we have helped 80% of the major college campuses in the United States to improve and establish their presence to have a more effective influence on students at their campuses. And we know that we can do the same for you.
We believe our plans of improving your external communication will increase your member base for future growth because a well thought out communications plan not only informs students about your organization, but also focuses on how to reach them. External communication spreads news and information about your organization to the students. Many students are not aware of how your organization directly influences them or how SGA empowers students to express their opinions. We believe by improving your communications of what your organization does to benefit students will increase their interest in becoming members. Many students take online classes and are not present to see your organization's efforts on campus. With the majority of the student base being active on social media, you can increase both interest and reach through creating a strong social media presence with frequent posts, which will result in increasing the likelihood of them becoming members. The impression of your organization can define your success, and by improving your methods of external communication, you can improve the impression of your organization.
Thank you. Great question. And in short, little to no extra effort or energy is going to be required to make these recommendations a reality. Additionally, there is no extra funding required other than using the budget that the SGA already has. These recommendations are really, really easy to get in place.
So as the question stands, I believe that SGA's long-term potential is very great. I feel like they have large amounts of potential of unreached things that they have not even accessed yet. I know that there's some avenues that they haven't reached. I know that they don't have quite a presence on the on-campus scene. I've seen when some organizations or departments will get tables and set out in front of the grassy triangle. SGA has not been able to achieve that, but I know that that is one area that they can potentially make a stand and increase their reach as far as their organization.
To answer your question, more exciting and engaging on-campus activities will improve the Student Government Association's departmental image by growing a student fan base, which will spread awareness to the cause of the Student Government Association, being to make the student voices louder. Our recommendations have no associated risk at all and will only spread more involvement of the students at the West Georgia University.